now that the Euros are over, we're back in business. And with that said, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Chelsea transfer news, which is apparently what I'm calling this series now. And as it says, Chelsea transfer news. So without further ado, let's go into it. So our first story is on Bakayoko, the forgotten Chelsea man who a lot of people thought, and including me, was just out of the club. Like, I just thought at some point, I couldn't remember when, maybe in like the 2017 or 2018 season, he was probably just sold off and that was the end of it. But no, he is surprisingly still a Chelsea player despite all of his, let's just say unpleasant performances at times. Like, I don't know if you guys still remember when he played against Watford, but that was probably the worst time or the worst performance I ever seen someone in a Chelsea shirt, and I think many other people can agree with me. But we're looking to sell him to AC Milan apparently. So in order to actually get something out of this deal and to get something out of what we paid like 20-30 million for him, we're trying to get something, maybe get some pocket change by maybe extending his deal for up to 1 more year, so then we can actually get something out of it. I think that's the whole plan here basically. But Mourinho is trying to make that happen, and I don't know if AC Milan are actually willing to pay anything. I mean, Bakayoko, like as I said before, very infamous man, didn't really do anything for Chelsea, but that is just like a short side story. And just hearing the name Bakayoko again just sent some chills up my body again. I don't like hearing that name. But moving on, the second story of today, Chelsea are looking to buy Griezmann apparently, or they're looking at him as a possible target in case we do not get Haaland. And every time I say that, that just makes me believe that we're not actually going to get him in the end. But hopefully that does not turn out the way it will, and God forbid we do get Griezmann. Oh my gosh, how are we going to fit him into our system? Griezmann can barely do anything for Barcelona, and he has Lionel Messi with him. So if you have Lionel Messi and you can't somehow find a way to be scoring on a consistent basis, then how are you ever going to do that at Chelsea, man? Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. But that is what we're looking for in case we do not get Haaland. I just really hope that this is a hoax. I know I'm reporting the news, but I really hope that this is a hoax. I don't want Griezmann to come. That is where I stand on this story. And moving on, Mourinho wants to bring Zouma to Rome. Yes, the former Chelsea manager himself, the special one who just recently got appointed as the new Rome manager. Wants to bring back some of the old players, and I think that's always been like something that he's wanted to do. Like with the people he's worked with, he's always wanted to bring them into wherever he was now. He gets what he wants most of the time, but I really hope he does not get Zouma this time around. Zouma is just quality, man. I can't really say much about him. If you remember all his best times when he hasn't been like consistently good, but there were also times when he has just proven such an asset for us. There's been many times when he scored headers, and as we know, he can be very lethal in the box when he goes up there and scores goals for us. But maybe many people are upset with his defending ability, and at times there is that argument where Zouma isn't as good as, let's say, Christensen or Rudiger defensive wise. He has made a few errors before. I can't like pinpoint when, but maybe if you are able to recollect as well, you can maybe remember a few mishaps he's had in his game before. So but I still want Zouma to stay at Chelsea. I really don't want him to go because he is honestly just such an asset, and even though he hasn't found himself getting much playing time after Frank Lampard got sacked, still a class player, still valuable, and maybe within a few months under Tuchel properly in the coming season, maybe he can finally find his form again. Moving on, Chelsea are preparing to use a big offer for Haaland, and that's kind of where we are with the Haaland situation. Dortmund reports are saying that if Chelsea were to blow the budget, as I said last video, and now raise up the price or raise up the deal now up to 150 million pounds, then maybe Borussia Dortmund will be willing to budge. But again, that's a big if. That's a big if, because we don't know if Chelsea are even going to go near that price. Many reports are saying that Roman Abramovich is going to get serious now in this transfer, but is he serious enough to buy someone who's like basically twice the value of your most expensive signing in your club history? Not too sure about that. I'm not too sure where the Chelsea board stands on that. It seems though that Chelsea are very ambitious to get Haaland though, but again, the price. It's all about the price when it comes to football now. That's a dealer. It's a make or break situation in most deals now. So just by saying you're ambitious and stuff like that, if the price is too high, then you're probably gonna expect the team not to pay it. But that's where we stand with the Haaland issue. Moving on to Declan Rice now. Declan Rice, has played in the Euro 2020 final, and even though it feels like forever now, that happened yesterday. Yes, it did happen yesterday, and actually I was very impressed by what I saw from Declan Rice. He was just really good at bypassing everyone who was in front of him. He was very good at with the ball. Yeah, there was a time when I think Chiesa just kind of spun him around, but Chiesa is Chiesa. If you've seen him throughout the tournament, he is a very exceptional footballer. But Declan Rice held the ball very good, and there were also times when he saw people open on the flank and he dished out some pretty good crosses, kind of like how Jorginho does it for us at Chelsea. But overall, his ability to just run through the midfield, kind of like how Conte does it, just really goes to show how well he could play with our system. So if people are still saying that Declan Rice wouldn't be able to fit at Chelsea, I think you're just wrong, because he does have the skill and he does have the ability to stand on his own. And many people say that all he does is just pass. He's just a pass merchant and he loses the ball way too many times. I think he is very suitable for Chelsea, a very apt target that we can be going for this transfer window. So that is just my opinion on Declan Rice. But there is still the issue of 80 million. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments whether or not this is actually a good, would it still be a good signing if we did get him for 80 million? I know what I just said right now was me complimenting Declan Rice and how good he was, and I know it's only one match, but still, that is probably the best I've seen of Declan Rice, or on par with some of the best performances I've seen. I've seen him play with West Ham, for example. But there's still the issue of the money. And I'm not too sure if everyone's on board with paying 80 million. I'm still not on board with it. I think 80 million is way too high, but maybe 50 million could be justified, but I still think 80 million is way too high. And there is rumors now that Chelsea are also looking towards Kamara. There is news that he is one of the best midfielders in League One, and he is valued right now at 12.8 million pounds. So if we want to, we can be looking towards that cheaper option. Yes, he is cheaper, but he's also apparently very esteemed in League One. So if that's the route Chelsea want to go for in the end, then I don't see that as a bad option, because Declan Rice, in my opinion, is still too high. But let me know if you think Declan Rice's price is too high right now, and Chelsea shouldn't be looking to pay that much to blow the budget on Declan Rice, and instead maybe pour all of our investments for the summer into Haaland. Let me know what you guys think about that. And on to the next story. Chelsea are looking to sell Ziyech, Abraham, and Hudson-Odoi. You heard that. They are looking to sell all those players, and I have to say, I don't know how I feel about that. Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi are both class. They are both class players. How could you even think about selling, especially Ziyech, who we just signed last year? We literally got Ziyech last year, and I don't know why we're looking to sell Ziyech and Odoi. And I think Odoi is still, he's still young, still, people aren't still happy about him not getting enough playing time, but I still think with enough time he will find himself in the first team. Don't know for who, but I think he has that ability. And Abraham, that's the one where I'm like, yeah, there could be an argument made for it. I think many people actually do want him out, but I'm sitting on the fence with this one, because Abraham still has done, his first few months at Chelsea were still pretty good. After that, he's just completely dipped down. I will admit that. but I still see potential in him, and I don't want to give up on Abraham just yet. So that's just how I stand on the issue. But you know, many reports are saying that Tammy Abraham is expected to leave in the summer transfer window. So yeah, maybe my opinion on that doesn't even matter. But I still stand on the issue with Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi. They should definitely stay. I really would be upset if one of them left. I would be devastated. And our final story is just the preseason. Now that the international tournaments are over, there is just all the room available for the preseason. We have a big cup game against Villarreal in the UEFA Super Cup. I almost said Super League there for a second. But this is where we are right now. We are in the preseason. We're in preseason mode. We need to make sure we're also in transfer window mode. We need to make sure we're actually getting some players, getting some reinforcements somewhere. Like I wouldn't even be too upset if we didn't get Haaland. I mean, it's probably not gonna happen, but I wouldn't be upset at all as long as we get reinforcements in this team. I think I will be happy. But overall, like I'm just very excited. Like, if you can see on screen right now, these are pics of the preseason. You can see all the players that are coming back to Chelsea, to Cobham, and yeah, this is getting me really excited for next season. And the fact that we start off with we can start the season winning a cup, that's already got me excited. I'm done with all the international stuff. We are finally back to looking at the club, and also remembering that we are indeed the champions of Europe, and we need to make sure we live up to that title to the fullest. So that is just going to be it for me. I am very excited for the next season. I am very excited for what this team still has in store, and even though we've already accomplished the biggest trophy in our history for the second time, it still feels like we've only had like a short time with Tuchel and a short time with this new system that he's implemented, the new rejuvenation amongst the players now, and it's got me really excited for what Chelsea still has in store. So with that said, I am going to be signing off. Thank you guys for watching me. Thank you for tuning into the Chelsea transfer news. I think that's going to be the appropriate title for this series. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching once again. I will see you guys in the next video.